Welcome back, my dear students. In this course, let us learn about the medical termination of pregnancy and sexually transmitted disease. Medical termination of pregnancy, abbreviated as MTP. MTP or medical termination of pregnancy means the intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before the full term. Full term refers to the gestation period of 9 months. This is also termed as induced abortions. And nearly 45 to 50 million MTPs are performed in a year all over the world. This MTP has a significant role in decreasing the population, but it is not meant for that purpose. Whether to accept or to legalize this MTP or not is being debated upon in many countries, and it is due to emotional, ethical, religious and social issues which are involved in it, because even fetus is also having life and sometimes it is illegal, that means to kill a baby. So these are all the aspects which are discussed in many countries, but still Government of India legalized MTP in the year 1971 with some strict conditions to avoid the misuse, and such restrictions are necessary to prevent the indiscriminate and illegal female feticides. Next, let us learn about why we need to go for MTP. The MTPs are sometimes required. Why? Because in order to save the women or in order to save the female who is carrying, okay, that is in some complications. There are some medical complications in females and that could lead to fatal, that means that could lead to the death of the women, whether she might be weak or she might be like immunosuppressant. Okay, in those cases doctors will advise to go for MTP. And second thing is to get rid of unwanted pregnancy due to sexual crimes. So these are the reasons why the MTP is performed. Okay, so sometimes to get rid of the unwanted pregnancy due to the complications within the female, okay, or else due to casual unprotected intercourse or the failure of contraceptives which are used during the coitus time. So these are the reasons why the couples or females decides to go for the MTP. Next, let us go for the disadvantages of this MTP. So I had already discussed that misuse should not be done because sometimes the female feticides will be detected. Okay, so that is in our law that it should not be determined, but still it is illegally they are doing. Sometimes it is risky also, but still illegally they are doing, and in order to stop that, this MTP should be taken care, like this MTP should be strictly checked. Okay, and next is the social stigma attached to the abortion. The social stigma which is attached to abortion means, see, sometimes the complications lies within the female only, right? But in that cases the baby needs to be aborted. Okay, but this our law has told strictly that whatever I had told you, that should be of a proper reason. but still in rural areas they are doing it illegally. Okay, and also getting aborted is not that much good, because if this baby is not at all causing any harm. Okay, so the killing of the baby is not right. So this is social stigma which is attached to the abortion, and sometimes this MTP is risky. That is, it is safe only up to first trimester. If the doctors are doing it illegally, then it becomes riskier to the mother also. And the MTPs should be done by the qualified persons. If MTPs are done by the unqualified person, so it is said to be unsafe. It is again risk for the next childbearing capacity, or else even for the baby. Okay, so this is about the disadvantages which are associated with the MTP. This is why unless and until it is advised by the doctors, MTP is not that much safe. Next, let's talk about the sexually transmitted diseases, STDs. Sexually transmitted diseases are the diseases which spreads through or transmits through the sexual course with an infected person. These diseases are also known as venereal diseases or reproductive tract infections. And here, not all of them are completely curable. Now let us learn about some more sexually transmitted disease. The first disease is gonorrhea. The causative agent of this gonorrhea is the Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Okay, and this is a bacterial disease which is caused by gram-negative bacteria. And the symptoms are seen in males and females. In males, the inflammation occurs in the mucous membrane of urinogenital tract, and burning sensation is seen during urination. And in females, arthritis, sterility, if it is not treated, okay, and congenital inflammation means if the female is pregnant and if she is having gonorrhea, the chances of spreading of this bacteria to the fetus is more, and the treatment is available for this disease, that is the ampicillin and the penicillin antibiotics are given. Next is syphilis. This syphilis is caused by Trichomonas pallidum, and this is a transplacental pathogen. Transplacental pathogen means, see here, this passes through the placenta so that it can affect the fetus also. Hence it is called congenital syphilis. And the symptoms occurs in three stages: the primary stage, secondary stage and tertiary stage. In primary stage, the dry, hard bacteria-filled sores are found. Where it is found means an external genitalia, and also the patches are seen on lips. This is the first stage. And during the second stage, the license are seen. The patches which becomes fluid filled. Okay, and that is called license, or it may be dry. Okay, so dry license are usually seen on the mucous membrane of the skin. Okay, and the person experiences fever, loss of weight and appetite. Next is the third stage. In third stage, the bacteria spreads to the internal organs, and that source from this license become large fluid filled patches, and that is called gummas. And finally, as it spreads to internal organs, there are chances of reaching this into brain, and which causes a mental disorder. This is about syphilis. Next is chlamydiasis. The causative agent is Chlamydia trachomatis. So, this chlamydiasis symptoms can be seen in males and females again. Here, the males can feel painful in urinating and thick pus-like discharge will come from the genital organs. Next, symptoms in females. The inflammation is seen in cervix region, uterus and fallopian tube, and the pelvic inflammatory disease is seen. That means all the pelvic region organs including the ovaries, okay, so they all are affected and they become painful, and this is called the pelvic inflammatory disease. Okay, so this can be seen if it is not treated properly. Then what is the treatment which is available means the antibiotics like tetracycline and erythromycin is given but not penicillin. Penicillin becomes ineffective here. Next is, this is also one of the very dangerous disease, hepatitis B. And hepatitis B is caused due to the HBV, that is hepatitis B virus, and it is a double-stranded DNA virus. And this infection can also spread through the blood and the body fluids. Hence I call this disease as hepatitis disease. And the symptoms here is the nausea and vomiting sensation, okay, and biliverdin concentration increases. Hepatitis means here the liver is affected. Okay, so as you all know that liver secretes the two pigments, that is bilirubin and biliverdin. Here bilirubin and biliverdin gets affected. Okay, so the concentration increases and it leads to a condition known as liver cirrhosis. Since liver functioning is affected and this result in jaundice. And here overall physiology of the body is altered. Okay, and I had already told about liver cirrhosis. That means liver becomes fiber and liver becomes hard so that it stops functioning. And here the early diagnosis can be done. That is, there is a test called hepatitis B surface antigen test, or it is also called as Australian antigen test. Okay, so this was called before but now it is replaced with the hepatitis B surface antigen test. Okay, from this test the hepatitis B can be diagnosed. If it is diagnosed at proper stage, the treatment can be given. Okay, next. So sometimes they will tell no, prevention is better than cure. Here the vaccination is available for hepatitis B and it can be taken in 3 doses. Okay, the first doses is given at 0 day, starting day. Okay, and the second day doses is given for the period of 1 month, and finally the third doses is also given. Okay, that is for the period of the around 6 months they will give one more course. So this is the course of vaccination for hepatitis B. Fine. Next is genital herpes. So this is a viral disease which is caused by type 2 herpes simplex virus. And the symptoms of this disease is the watery blisters are seen on genitalia and virus can spread to newborn, congenital again. And the treatment is also available for this genital herpes, but if it has reached to certain extent, sometimes pregnant women, if she is having genital herpes at the time of parturition, so it will be very dangerous because it can lead to the death of the baby. Okay, because this watery blister spreads, ruptures and it causes infection. And this virus spreads easily to the newborn. So newborn doesn't have any immunity. So the newborn may die. that is after the parturition. Next, treatments are available for genital herpes also. The first is the intravenous antiviral drugs are given, and also the iodine containing drugs can be given as a treatment for genital herpes. Next is genital warts. This genital warts is another sexually transmitted disease which comes under the viral disease caused by human papilloma virus. And the symptoms are the warts appear on the external genitalia, and it may lead to cancer also, that is cancer of cervix region. And if it is not treated, it develops into the tumors in external genitalia region, cervix. Okay, so these all regions will be affected here. And the treatment is also available for this warts, that is trichloroacetic acid is given, and the laser treatments can be given to remove the warts, and the surgical excision is also done. This is trichomoniasis. So here this trichomoniasis is caused by an agent called Trichomonas vaginalis. Okay, so Trichomonas vaginalis causes this disease, and this is a protozoan disease. Okay, next, the symptoms are the pain during urination. Sometimes it may be asymptomatic. Okay, but still patients complain about the cervix inflammation, vaginal discharge, itching, irritation, etc. Again, it can also be treated by using the antibiotics like metronidazole. So last nothing else but the least is the AIDS. So this is very dangerous, and still now there is no treatment for this disease. Okay, and this is called syndrome. Okay, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, and the causative agent is single-stranded retroviral RNA. That means it contains RNA as a genetic material, but it can produce DNA from RNA. And the causative agent, what I told you, is the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. And the symptoms of this disease: mild fever, infection, weight loss. Okay, and the severe infection leads to the loss of immunity. Entire immune system is destroyed here. So it mainly attacks on the T cells. Okay, so it destroys all the T cells, and it leads to multiple complications as the immune system is affected. And preventive measures can be taken for this AIDS. The first is avoiding the sex with unknown person, and use of condoms, sharing the needles, and blood transfusion. Mainly this is caused due to the transfer of body fluid. These preventive measures can be taken. So this is about the sexually transmitted diseases. Hope you understood. Thank you for listening.